teaching artist with Metal Arts, a nonprofit out of Twisk, Washington. Today is a very rainy day, so I thought we could cheer ourselves up by painting rainy day rainbows. This is going to be a really fun project, and in just a moment I will let you know all the supplies that you will need. Okay, so these are our materials today. We're going to need a piece of watercolor paper, our crayons, including white, watercolors, salt if you have it, this is just kitchen salt, and some water for our paintbrush. Okay, so these are the colors of the rainbow we're going to be working with today. We have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Indigo is the sneaky color that doesn't always get included, but if you have a crayon with the name indigo on it, right there in little writing, go ahead and use this one. If you do not have it, that's okay, we don't need it. So Roy G. Biv stand for the colors of the rainbow. So if you remember that, you'll always remember red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. We'll use those 7 colors and a white crayon today for our project. Okay, so we have a piece of paper. We're going to put it up and down like this. I actually took my watercolor paper, my large piece, and I cut it in half so I can do a smaller one today. But if you want to do a bigger one, you would just put it this way. So here's mine. I have my crayons ready, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my blue crayon, and this is about halfway, so I'm going to go a little less than halfway, and I'm just going to put a line straight across like that. And push a little hard. I'm using my watercolor paper, so there's going to be texture with our crayon. Okay, so then I'm going to do my rainbow, starting with red. I'm going to do a big arc. I'm right-handed, so I start on my left side. If you're left-handed, you might find it's easier to go the other way. And then I'm going to really give my red a nice thick color band. Got my red on there, and then orange comes next. If at any time I'm going too fast, go ahead and pause me. Right now I'm just going to do all the colors of the rainbow. So if you've already paused me and then got ahead of me, you can fast forward to the end of my rainbow. So red, orange, yellow. I'm putting a pretty good amount of pressure with my crayon on the paper because I really want to see my color. If you push really light, we won't see it after we watercolor over the top. So green, there's lots of different colors of green, but I just grabbed this lighter one today. Green. Coloring with the side of your crayon, sometimes helpful. And then it looks like I have 2 blues here, but remember there's indigo too, so I'm going to use my blue crayon next. So I have red, orange, yellow, green, blue. All right, got my blue on there. Now I'm going to use my indigo. It almost looks purple, huh? It's definitely different than the blue. There's indigo, and then violet or purple. Right, I bet you've drawn a lot of rainbows before, so I bet you're a pro up to this point. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Now I have the first part of my picture. The second part is we're going to be a little tricky. We're going to draw with our white crayon on our white paper. So it's going to look invisible. And it's going to be hard for you to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to put my white crayon down, grab a piece of paper just to show you. So I have my rainbow somewhere here. There's my rainbow. Now I'm just going to show you with my pencil. We do not need to draw with pencil, but I'm going to put little dashes with my white crayon in the sky for rain. And then below the rainbow, I'm going to do these little kind of swirls or like puddles where the rain's falling. So this is water down here, like puddles. And the raindrops are falling in my puddles. Okay, so those are the shapes I'm going to do. I'll keep this handy because when I do this demo, it's going to be visible until our magic trick. So I have my white crayon and I'm just doing little dashes and I'm pretty firm on my paper. I want to do it hard enough so I can actually see the crayon on my paper. And then I'll come down here and do some of these kind of puddle shapes. You can do spiral shapes. They're like the ripples and the puddles when a raindrop plops into them. Alright, so I'll add a few more dots. So if I got way ahead of you, please pause me to catch up. But right now we have our rainbow. We have our white invisible crayon with rain dashes. And we have these swirls down here in our water with the white crayon. And in just a moment, we're going to see what happens to the white crayon when we paint over it. So, get to this point, pause to catch up, and then we're going to get our watercolors out. Okay, so now I have my watercolors, my water, my brush, and my salt, and we're going to paint our watercolor paper. So I am going to use my paintbrush and get it wet. And I'll put a little drop of water in my yellow just to get it ready. Rinse off my brush. I'll put a drop of water in my blue paint to get it ready. Rinse off my brush. And then we're going to put a drop of water in the black all the way over here. And now that my brush has touched the black, I want to really rinse it out good. Okay, so we're getting our yellow, our blue, and our black a little wet. So rainbows come when there's light and water, right? So rainy days are a lot of times have some kind of sunlight. So we're going to use our yellow first. Get some yellow on your brush. I'm getting it pretty watery. I'm going to put some yellow in this corner of my paper. Get a bunch of yellow on there. So that's where my sun is coming from. There's my sunlight. And then I'm going to rinse my brush and I'm going to dip it into the blue. I'm going to come up to that yellow and I'm going to blend that line. Get some more blue. Do you see what's happening? It's like magic, huh? Those little raindrops are appearing that were white on my paper and now they're starting to show. So I'm going to bring this blue right down into my rainbow. I'm painting kind of at a diagonal. I'm making like little stripes. So I have a yellow stripe, a blue stripe, all the way through my rainbow. And then I'm going to rinse my brush and I'm going to go for the black. I know it sounds crazy. I'm going to blend my black into my blue a little bit. And I have a lot of black on here, so I probably won't dip back into my paint. I'm just going to dip in the water, and then I can just spread my black around. A little bit of black. That's all we need, because we just kind of want it to look like a gloomy day on this side and a bright sunny day on the other side. And look, I'm going right through my rainbow with this black. And the colors are still there. Isn't that cool? So I have my yellow, my blue, and my black. Then I'll put my brush in the water. If you're still catching up to this point, go ahead and hit pause. If you're ready to go, we're going to go ahead and paint our water droplets down here. So I'm getting my brush rinsed off. And this time I'm going to go back to my yellow. And I'll put just a little bit of yellow up here because the sun is hitting that water. Right here, just some yellow. A little bit of yellow. Rinse my brush off. And then can you guess what's next? We did yellow. Let's go for blue. So I'm getting more water in my paint. I want to make sure I have enough water. Watery paint, and look, my blue is pushing up through that yellow. It looks so cool. And my ripples are starting to show. So I have blue. Now let's do the black. Yellow, blue, and black. And really we kind of want the black to be more gray. So how do we make gray? We just have to dilute the black with more water. I'm going to let it come up and touch my blue, and then it blends together. Just a little bit more. I'm working pretty quick on this part because I want it really nice and wet. So when you have that part done, I'm going to be quick here because I want to show you, if you use salt, you just sprinkle a tiny bit of salt. And it makes a really cool texture on your water down here. You could also do it in your sky, but it'll be harder to see your raindrops. So we sprinkle the salt, a little bit of salt. This is a project where if you put too much salt, it'll just kind of take away your nice vibrant colors and you won't see your swirls. So just a little sprinkle of salt with your wet paint, and that salt is gonna like wick up that water and dry, and this whole painting will dry in about half an hour, and then you just take your salt and you rub it off with your finger into the trash, and you'll have a really cool pattern on your water of your painting. So there is the rainy day rainbow, because on rainy days there's always some kind of light, some kind of dark, and a beautiful rainbow, and some kind of water, raindrops or mist. So you can let that dry, and if you enjoyed doing this, you can try it again. Try doing a different shape rainbow. You could arc it off to the side. You could do one with more water, with maybe a purple sky. Up to you. This is your time to explore. And if you used paper that was not watercolor paper, it might start getting crinkly. That's okay. Just let it dry and it'll still be really beautiful. So thank you so much.